Alright guys, Mosax, I'm here again to show you one or two things on the sax, and especially to answer the question. A lot of people have been discouraged because of this single challenge. I don't have time. Now, it's not as if you don't want to learn the sax, it's not as if now you don't have a teacher. Some of you already even got a library. But one challenge that you have is that you don't have time. You feel you don't have time. You look at your schedule, you don't really have that time. And you are wondering, how am I going to create time? Now, I'm going to share with you tips that will help you to organize your practice routine in 2025. All right, before we go, please, if you have not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe. In this channel, we teach you a lot of things about the sax. We encourage you. So make sure you don't keep that sax in 2025. Don't hide that instrument in the box. You didn't buy it to be in the box. You bought it so that you can take it out there and bless lives, bless the body of Christ in your local church, bless friends and families, and it's time for you to learn in 2025. I know you are very busy, and that's why this video, you are watching it. So if you find yourself very busy, the first thing you should know is that you don't need too much time to practice the saxophone. Saxophone is no longer an instrument where you need 5 years in the university, or you need a course. You need to sit in one regular Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday kind of classes. Presently, you can actually learn saxophone only practicing once every week. You have a class once every week, very important. And then after that, you just need maybe a 10 minute or even a 5 minute or a 20 minute to do your specific assignment for that week. You don't really need to practice all day. Yes, I can tell you that. The reason why people practice for too long and they are not even growing is because they don't even know what to practice. There is no guide, no syllabus, no specific assignment, step by step, broken down into modules where you can on the long run discover that you are making progress. So without that, you're going to think that you need 2 hours, 3 hours to practice, because you must actually be beating around the bush. Whatever YouTube throws at you, you play, you just learn randomly. But imagine you have the library, or you are one-on-one with me. You don't really need to bother yourself browsing YouTube before you can have your answers. Just know you have a class, so time, 1 hour in a week, and then you are with me, I teach you something, and then after the 1 hour, you only need 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes of the week of your time to quickly practice. So you can have, out of 5 days that you have outside the class, you can decide at least to practice twice, or 3 times, just 20 minutes. Now, let me also let you know that you don't need an hour or 2 to practice if you're in a class with me. Why? Because you have a specific assignment. So it is better to split your rehearsals into days, into 10 minutes, 20 minutes, than waiting for one hour or 2 hours that you may never have since you are busy. So tell yourself you don't need 1 hour, you don't need 30 minutes. I only need to pick this sax for let's say 10 minutes, and then you do it before bedtime, or you do it before work time, or you do it after work time. So you will discover that you have enough time to have these 10 minutes flying around. I don't see anybody who walk around the clock. You understand? I don't see anybody who walk around the clock where you really don't have that 30 minutes or 20 minutes or 10 minutes to spare, let's say twice per week or 3 times per week. But you actually just need an hour. If you don't have the library, you don't need an hour with me. Just break that 10 minutes and be following the library, practicing one step per time, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, like that. So that is the second thing you need to know. The next thing I need to address is, imagine you are a traveler and you are traveling. You will be wondering, okay, what if I travel? Now, one, you have an option to carry the saxophone. You have a box, you can put it in the box, you can carry it along, play it in your hotel room. I've done it before. Sometimes before if I travel, I just pick up my sax and practice in the hotel room. If I'm going to disturb in the room, I always have maybe one swimming pool or by the other side or in a hall that they have in the hotel. I just go and quietly sit there and I practice. So you can do that as well. But if you don't really have a way to practice in that journey, and that is really going to be so rare that you don't even have a 10 minutes to just spare, to practice. Maybe environment did not allow you. You can begin to think of an option of muting your sax, which some students have done. There's a student who was living in an apartment. The little time he has, he can't even practice because his neighbors are going to be disturbing, because he want to practice after work, and after work everybody is around. That kind late evening he cannot practice again. So what did he do? He was able to isolate one part of his room where I explained to him how he's going to use, what do you call it, some foam to really have a block, and another student bought a boot, that one is very expensive, has an AC inside, or an airlet, and he has a light, just a box where he just stays and he practice. So you can just find a way, or some people use their basement. If you're going to disturb your families in the night, maybe you want to practice after work, you can practice at a very maybe your garage or your basement. The sound will not really travel up where your children or your wife is, they are sleeping. So I think somebody has this question. I want to register, I want to learn the sax, but honestly I don't have time. So, and what I shared with the person really blessed the person, and I feel I should come and share it with you right here on YouTube. All right, so that's the third thing you need to know. The next thing you need to know is that you need to also, sometimes you need to be disciplined. Yes, discipline is very important, because if you are not disciplined, you will not be consistent in anything you want to do. Discipline means that if you have set aside 10 minutes, sometimes you are busy, you are not that busy, you spend time pressing phone, before you know it, 1 hour, 2 hours, Facebook, YouTube, a lot of that. But you can just get the library and just use that time, register or watch a video on this channel. Take to learn, a lot of free tutorials here if you want to learn through tutorials. But the most important thing is that extra time you spend gisting, watching TV, you can just discipline yourself to make sure you learn this instrument once and for all in 2025. So that's the 4 reasons why I feel everybody have time to learn the saxophone in 2025. So you don't really need to bother yourself with trying to browse. That extra time you spend trying to browse, I know students who spend countless number of hours just browsing YouTube looking for questions, when you can just ask a teacher. If you get a library, my library, I answer your question swiftly as much as possible. At that point, I save your number, and anytime you call, or even if I miss your call or I miss your chat, I will definitely respond personally. You see, my phones are always with me to answer every call at any time. So make sure you don't give that excuse of I don't have time. You really have time. And some of you, the last thing is, you definitely have 1 day off work. I don't see anybody who work Monday to Sunday like that. Say 8 days, no rest. So the Bible says you have a Sabbath day. So if you have that Sabbath day, you are out of work, maybe on Friday or on Saturday or on Sunday, you can use it. Who tell you that I actually hold classes on Sundays, I hold classes on Saturdays, I hold classes on... And if you have the library, you are following it on your own pace. You can practice at night sef. You can even practice Friday, Saturday or Sunday, weekend, or anytime you are. Don't wait for 1 month leave. Use your Sabbath day to practice 30 minutes or have a 1 hour class with me. That's the 5 reasons why I feel everybody have time to learn the sax in 2025. So if you think you don't have time, that is no longer an excuse, because what makes you really need time is if you don't know what to practice, if you don't have a guide, if you don't have a teacher. If you have a teacher who does all the arrangement for you, he break it down for you into pieces that you can practice in your busy time, I don't think you really have to really be looking for 3-month break before you think of learning the saxophone. Most of my students are working class students, and they are busy, they are travelers, but yet they are still learning. They work, and all of that. If you don't even work, I wonder how you're going to pay the bills. So, but since everyone work, I just have to come and share with you how these students are able to get that time. I've never shared this on YouTube. I think I should share it because I want to answer that complaint. I have a lot of messages on my WhatsApp, students telling me that I must just learn this sax this year. I must just learn this sax this year. And then they began to ask me questions. My own problem is I don't have money. I said you can save for it, or you can pay instrumentally, or you can just buy the library in bits. Somebody said I don't have time. I have answered that question. All right, in the next episode of these videos that I'll be dropping this season, this January, I'm going to be sharing more of these tips with you. And of course, we're going to be having some important lessons that I've already outlined. 52 topics already outlined for the tutorials that we're going to have in 2025. So if you have not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because I already have all the topics laid down for you and I want you to be part of it. Don't miss a session in this channel this year. Make sure you subscribe. Vera Sax is saying hi, and we love you. If you intended to be part of what we're doing here in Newworld Empire, you want to register with me, or you want to get the library, my number is always in every description, in the description box of every video. Pick it and just chat me right now. Thank you so much. I remain Mosax, your sax tutor. Somebody said you are the best teacher in the world. Thank you so much for those accolades. I appreciate it. I think it's the grace of God, and I see it as a calling. Thank you so much. See you. Bye.